Hello, this is Dan McDonald, Life Regenerator on YouTube. So, you want to have a flat stomach? Good. Came to the right guy. Before I go any further, I think it's a great idea for you to hit the subscribe button so that you can be made aware of these incredible videos that are coming in the future. Thank you. So, I have some apples and a lemon, and I've got some cleanse from Pyridine. And I've got 16 years of experience in keeping my personal colon clean, and I have walked many people through the process of healing, cleansing, and regenerating their small and large intestine. Very key to become aware of this part of your body. When you become aware of the fact that this is your second brain, what's going on down here drastically and dramatically affects what's going on up here, although it can be very subtle because it's inside of your skin. So it can take years of self-awareness and self-observation. It also helps to learn knowledge from others who have come before us and observe our own experiences with that accumulated data and come up with some of our own conclusions as it relates to gut health, to brain health. Now, we've got a lot going on in this world. We've got the study of the microbiome, which is helping us to understand that it's not bacteria that are bad or wrong. The bacteria theory is beginning to lose all of its credibility, really, because you need some bacteria. You need healthy bacteria. So how do you get healthy bacteria and unhealthy bacteria? What's happening, there are three different categories as I've designed in my own mind to explain this to myself, my friends, and my clients. There is the pathogenic type bacteria, which are the overgrowths of bacteria that were potentially there in nature to be helpful for a short amount of time to help cleanse an excessive amount of byproducts from eating. The problem is that gluttony is completely taken over. We're literally starving to death while we're stuffing our stomachs full of these non-food foods that are the basis of an industry that is for profit. So they convince you that you need all these weird foods that about 98% of them are not foods. Things that are in cans, boxes, and bags. Now, if you're starving to death and you eat some white rice or some macaroni and cheese until you can get back to the fresh fruits and vegetables, which we have evolved with over the years, then that's fine. There are also neutral bacteria, and then there are beneficial bacteria. Your job as a person who wants to have a flat, tight, toned stomach and highly functioning digestion system, which absorbs, utilizes, and then eliminates the food that you eat, is to make sure that you have mostly beneficial bacteria thriving in your gut. Now, what are the ones that are not beneficial? Candida is a big thing these days. What's happening? People are eating a lot of bread. They're stacking up all these different kinds of food. Their microbiome is off already. In the industrialized nations, we show a very diminished microbiodiversity in the gut as compared to indigenous type cultures. So the white man, in other words, and all the people that come to the white man's land, or the good old USA or Britain or Australia, being the main places where these types of industrialisms have taken off to where, oh right, the white bread's the new greatest thing. But the problem is white bread is dead. And we as a species have been eating dead foods. This is coming from a live food person. I was a raw food person, then I moved to the island of Kauai and realized that it's the living food that takes you to the next level of tissue function, energy, and consciousness. Because what I realized is that within the living foods is the concentrated sunlight and electricity that illuminates the human body and electrical system, which awakens all of the glands, which activate human potential so that that energy of life can move its way through you in a system that's been taking place for millions and millions and millions of years to awaken human potential. But we have taken away that electricity, and now all the energy that would be emanating and building into human potential is actually being diminished into digestion of very hard to digest foods, and the energetic payoff is simply not worth it. So we're basically digesters. We're walking around and we're just spending all of our time digesting food. That doesn't give us any time to digest our emotions, and it doesn't give us very much energy left over for the thinking, or more importantly, the receptivity to the advanced levels of energy that are available to us within the cosmic field. So you want your mind to be clear so that you can receive what I call the divine downloads. Now, what does that have to do with your stomach? If your stomach is overloaded, then that is going to slow down the ability to be, number one, to emanate those thoughts of life which are sourced from your gut. And because the pathogenic bacteria release metabolites into your blood which cause you to have fuzzy thinking. So what happens is you're looking for happiness in some kind of afterlife and some kind of heaven later on, when the heavenly realms of consciousness are available inside of you right now. So as you eat the living foods and as you do what all the masters have done to fast and cleanse and heal themselves, you will begin to understand that happiness and joy and bliss is here right now. So then you have no inclination to want to wait this life out and leave and go to another better place, which experientially you're not even sure is really there. Theoretically it sounds good, but since you've never had that experience of dying in this body and going on into the next realm, then maybe it would be better to take your chances here while you're here on earth, to take responsibility for the temple and make a place that is worthy of the Lord, or the One, or the bliss and love and joy of life itself that can blossom in you, but only if the temple has the space to be able to do that. And as children, we were raised in a society where we thought we had to eat strange milk powders and different rubbery government cheeses and hamburger helpers and deep fried things at these fast food restaurants and chocolate cake and ice cream for the birthdays and omega-6 oils that were fried and high heated and baked carbohydrates and the flesh of animals decomposing in our stomachs and different heavy metals and different cleaners, and all these things add up to building a protective mucus layer in the system to protect these gentle, pure, baby-like cells that are pure water, minerals, and electricity. But these mucus plaques have to form from the immune system in the brain and in the gut to protect itself, because all of that which we have been introducing for the most part, because we live in a strange patriarchal society where the masculine says, she's having a baby, hurry up, do something. Do something. How about just leave it alone? But see, that's the feminine. Leave it alone, let it be. And that's how we heal ourselves, is by stop. How do you heal yourself? And this is what I was reading this morning in one of my favorite books, Long Life in Florida by Hilton Hotima. There's no money in any of the healing modalities telling you, unless you're like an information marketer like me, and it's like, hey, that's really great information. I like this guy. I'm going to buy his stuff or whatever. But if it's the true information that you need, then, you know, you just get involved with the relationship here, which is, but if I had to have all these people coming to me, I would need them. If you had a health business and you were in the business of sick people, you would not be absolutely interested in creating health for them, because then you would lose your customer base. So there's no reason for anyone involved in any of these the modern fields of health to know anything, to be trained in anything, or to understand anything, or to have the motivation to teach you to go home and don't do anything. Now there's a few things, there are tools that we can use to help gently move us along. That might be certain types of fruit diets. These juicers are very handy because they can help to hydrate and alkalinize you at a very rapid rate. Some of these tools here, like the PuraCleanse or the enzymes, colonics, massage, those types of things. But really at the end of the day, here's the secret, that the intelligence within you is so intelligent that we can't even begin to fathom it. It makes every scientist, all the medical knowledge, every PhD, every master's degree, everybody look like an idiot. And no one wants to have their ego that humbled to be on their knees and in their own heart, knowing that it is the divine knowledge, the divine intelligence, and the divine creative principle, which is pure conscious energy, which already knows what to do. And so we are all humbled by the awareness of that. And only those whose hearts are pure and whose desire is to know the absolute real truth, because the healer is the wounded healer. When you go and your mom is good and your dad is good and your childhood is good, and then you go to college for 8 years and you become a doctor, usually you don't ever become a very good doctor in the sense of actually being able to help people until your ass gets sick from eating all that crap and working 80 hours a week, until your system breaks down, and then you need to get your mind right and come back to the same truth. You need pure water, you need sunlight, you need fresh air, you need real food, and you need to rest, and you need to live within the harmony of nature. None of the pills, none of the surgeries that are the isolated constituents of plant matter anyways. They're not going to tell you to use the herbs. They're not going to tell you that sunlight and sleep and getting your systems aligned with the harmony of the sleep and wake cycles of nature, avoiding negative people and excessive stress, which is like, can you even do that? I mean, if you do it like I did it, I got a gate over there. It's like you got to crawl over the gate, you know? So I'm cool here and I don't hang out unless it's all Pono. So I don't have any stressful people. You know what I mean? Because I took all these years to create this life because I knew that I was the wounded healer. I'm a dude who I need the truth. Okay? I have to have the real truth that works in this life. I have to have practical spirituality. I can't have fluffy duffy books. I can't go to church buildings and eat donuts and drink coffee and sing in Sunday school and think it's going to make a damn bit of difference for me. Okay? I have to have reverence for the real laws in nature. Otherwise, it's not going to work. And I never would have left piles and piles of generational pain behind. And without the real truth, and without the real knowledge, without the practical spirituality, I'll never be able to be what I want to be. I'll never be able to experience what my heart longs for. You see? So my ego could go knocking on people's doors and slamming a bunch of religious crap down people's throats, belief systems and dogmas that have been programmed into me from childhood and my society, because a long time ago they took all the books, they burned the ones, and then the other ones that were the most important, the knowledge they wanted to keep for themselves so they could rule over us, they put that in the archives. And that happened many years ago, 1600 years ago. And ever since then, they do everything they can to keep us in the dark. But my friend, the sun is still shining. The wind is still blowing. And the evidence is all around us. We just have to find within ourselves. I love books. I love mentors. I get ideas, I practice them, and then I learn from my own experience. And it's driven me to a very deep sense of needing to rely on that which is true. Not which is what would be convenient, not which is that I have been programmed with, but I need real divine truth. I need the divine law, and I pray for that every day. It starts with God, and it kind of, I watched it this morning. This is my own personal journey that I have, and I'm not really religious in any way, shape, or form, but it started with God, and then it worked its way down to Jesus and what I call Christ consciousness. And then it became praying to the deepest part of myself, which was talking to the deepest knowing, not all the conditioned mind, but the deepest knowing that I have to do it myself, and the deepest part of me knows what I need to do to blossom into the vision that I have. Because pain is such a great impetus, and when you are in pain, from the day you're born all the way through the whole thing, physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, pain, you don't stop looking for answers. And a little palliative is okay, like drugs are a temporary little thing, other little temporary pleasures, but the deep down core issues never get addressed. And as you get more and more sensitive, as you follow the laws of the living foods, which awakens the system into sensitivity, and you become honest with yourself, and you ask your closest friends that are the more spiritually enlightened friends that you have to help you to look at yourself, and then you become more honest with yourself, and you know that you're never going to get free unless you can be honest with yourself, unless you can say sorry, unless you can be true to yourself. Because otherwise, the pain will always be there, and then you might be the one you use food to cover your pain. And then you're overweight, And that's the burden you bear because you haven't been able to sit with the uncomfort of all those experiences that you had as a child, or all the pain that's generational pain. But so you might be a heroin user, which I've talked to those people all the time. You'd be surprised at how many of them there are, and you'd be surprised at how functional they are, but they're like half dead, alive people that are functioning in society. Lawyers, doctors even, or sometimes there's doctors that I have to get so many different clients, it's crazy. But sometimes they're just on pain meds because they worked 80 hours a week, burned themselves out, and now they're trying to pay back their loans. So they're killing themselves and they know what they're doing isn't right, but they're stuck. And so then they have just this pain of like, they have no pain. The pain of no pain is what it is when you're on the painkillers, which I know all about. I know about the heroin and I know about everything, and you're so dead. It's like the pain of no pain. You can't feel anything and you know you're dead inside. So that's your karma. So it's overweight or it's underweight, and for some people there's so much stress and pain that they can't gain weight. So everybody's judging everybody, and I'm watching all this from where I sit, and I'm just like, your drug is different than this person's and you're going to judge everyone? It's just weird, man. We're all just trying to make it through. We should lend a hand. Just because the guys, it's like, I'm not going around with a bleeding heart, but I'm just saying, like, if somebody needs help, like I said, I'm not trying to bail the world out with a thimble either. This is my way. This is my way of comfortably and gently taking my experience, and it's like, I can make one video and reach, 2, 3, 4, 10,000 people, and then all those people can get instead of me being on the phone, which it is sometimes good to have a phone consultation because I can dial in on your specific stuff, which is always like somebody's relationship is crappy and they're trying to figure out why I'm not feeling healthy. It's all energy, and you have to love yourself so much that you're willing to give up everything to experience the love and the joy and the freedom. But we get so stuck with everything that's socially and politically correct, and we never get free, most of us. And you gotta be like those people that they're still on this video that I made like 3 months ago. Dan McDonald's crazy. They've been talking about me for months. And you know what? It's like, if it takes me to be crazy to end up where it's like, everyone I've ever talked to says I want to grow my own food while living in paradise, while not wearing any clothing, plucking fruit off the trees, in an epic relationship, driving an epic truck. The 2008 Toyota Tundra was one of the best vehicles ever made in the history of humanity, and now the newer ones are not as good. Toyota, go back to making your own transmissions. I've got 4 wind chimes, which are like my best friends, that just keep me in a state of joy and bliss all day long. I get to go to the beach and just breathe the fresh air and get the sunlight. So my point to all that is, yes, I'm bragging. I'm proud of myself for being crazy enough to say, fuck all that, man. I'm not trying to be politically correct, Joe Blow in the middle, keep up with the Joneses. I have no interest in that. I have an interest in some kind of just purity and awakening. And I don't know how to do it. I do know that what I have done has helped me to get to this point. And I went from broke to abundance. And I went from depressed to really happy. And I went from homeless to having the nicest, coolest, most functional kitchen, bathroom, outdoor shower, front porch, heavenly paradise. So those things, and particularly you know me as the dude with the food. Because when the fresh food, then you're in the good mood. What do we got? 24 minutes here. I don't even know. I just got wrapping. I was gonna make a little thingamajigger here. I'm gonna. What I was doing as I went on with this video was like, wow. However this happened, I don't know. But see, when I cry a little bit, that's just because I'm so blessed. You know. It's not like I'm sad. It's like joy of being able to be of service, to have this camera and this platform. Because I feel the people and I see them. I sort of forgot. Because sometimes if you go to Lahui, then you go to it's not like I go to Denny's. If I went to Denny's a couple times a week, I'd be reminded a lot more of what's going on. If I went to Walmart, that's all I gotta do is go to Walmart to be reminded of what's happening. I live up here on the North Shore of Kauai. It's like, it really doesn't get any better. I mean, I live in the greatest single most epic crown chakra of the planet, where so much growth and life is going on that if you're the barefoot surfer type like I am, collecting shells in the morning going, oh, look at this one, wow, your mind is always in a state, and there's like seals and birds and turtles and whoa, I've never seen that bird, and geckos everywhere and centipedes crawling across your back, and you wake up and you're like, oh God. And then as you're standing around there wondering, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? And you're just like standing there because Jesus said, don't kill the centipedes and spiders anymore. And I was like, okay, don't kill the things anymore, but damn it, I hate centipedes. Like the spiders I can deal with now. The geckos are a blessing. But the centipedes that are this long and it's crawling across your back in the middle of the night, and you think, oh, there's a little bug on me. And you kind of get up and you turn around and look and oh, Jesus. And it's a centipede, and then it goes, and then it's like, as you're standing there freaking out, like I can't chop it up with the spatula. I can't suck it up into the vacuum anymore. You're trying to should I get a jar? But they're so strong that if with a spatula, it takes like 10 minutes to kill them. I've done that before, because people, they tell these horror stories. I've never been bit yet. But I've had centipedes here, there, and everywhere in my life here on Kauai. And then what happens, I open the door. He just went out, crawled out, and I was like, praise the Lord. And he went out. And then the chickens eat them. And that's cool. So it's cool to have a few chickens. But anyways, that was a little digression on the apple snacks here, because we're going to be, my coven is clean, but my partner Dakota, who's the most epic human being of all, from another planet, even her mom says you're an alien in the sense of just divinity and purity. But and she ends up with me. That's pretty awesome. So I end up with her, whatever. We're just helping each other right now. But anyways, she had her first colonic yesterday, and it just, she woke up to the next level, because that's always what it does. I wasn't pushing it, she had to kind of pound on me to get me to, show her what's up and teach her the thing. So anyways, that was what, now she's ready for the next level. It's like because I've learned over the years to not do the DTM thing to the people that come into my life. I say, eat whatever you want. And then but I was like, it'd be kind of cool if this was a raw food kitchen. That's always been my dream. And then it was decided that this would be a raw food kitchen. But I don't say to anyone, you need to do this, you need to do that. I just set an example. And if you come to me with specific questions, I answer them. But although I'm standing up, because this is elevated, I don't stand on a soapbox. And I don't preach. It's like, I got a YouTube channel. If you want to be here, and you can click off or not. But I'm not going to come to your house, knock on your door. You need to eat your raw foods, you dummy. You're going to go to cook food hell if you don't, It's just, so I go real slow, but now we're ready to clean it up, because everybody has been through the macaroni and cheese and the flour and everything that coats your coat. It coats your caking, and you ain't absorbing, utilizing, and you ain't got the glow that you know that you could have, because you're a being of light and electricity. And that's the truth, and that's what I'm here to do, because these fools try to take me out, because they try to take you out from day one. I don't mean to try to get into the vaccine thing, but you got to realize that is You got to do a lot of work to clean your colon, purify your heart, deal with all the pain of the generations and all the ignorance of all the medical. Get in there. It's like if you're having a baby, leave it alone. You don't see the deer having medical procedures or the bears or the turtles or anybody else. There's no medical procedure for birth. They know what to do. It's a simple thing. It just happens. But human beings have so much debris in their brains from so much false information that the truth is in the silence of just allowing everything to be what it is. And then when you get hungry, all of a sudden the strawberry guavas will just pop up into your trip, man. You don't even need to do nothing. Then you'll see the bananas, they're ripe. I'm hungry. Pick a few bananas, the rest will ripen throughout the week. It's like simplify. So anyways, I ran out of time because I don't know why this camera goes to 33 minutes. I suppose if I wanted to adjust it, I could do that. But you don't need to know that either. I'm actually going to look at this camera right now and see if there's a way to adjust that setting, which has been like that for God knows how long. Anyways, DTM and the technology, yeah, we're kind of, wouldn't say we're exactly that tight. But I got it figured out enough to make this video, and there must have been a nugget or two in there. There was a whole lot of love. There was a whole lot of love for my brothers and sisters all over this planet. But really, like I said, it's not a bleeding heart like I'm trying to fix you or change your brokenness. It's more like I just love the truth. Whatever that is, I just love the truth. And I'm not one to sit up here and I read this book and you got to do this and cram it down people's throats. I'm more like, I'm aware. I mean, it's like, are you aware of how much you don't know? You know what you do know, and you think you know what you do know, but are you aware of what you don't know? And if you became aware of how much you don't know, you would probably be a piece of humble pie till the day you died. Can I get an amen? Now I'll switch this off, upload this, because this was really fun for me. This is the ones I get my jollies where it's like, did you do the thing? No, I just had a great time. Then I'll get up on here and do this and show you how to keep your colon clean and how to lose weight really fast and have a flat stomach. So that's coming next. I got to shut this off because I got 30 seconds. But I sure do appreciate your time and your attention today. It was absolutely fabulous to be in your presence. God bless you. Peace. Mm. $33.